Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, August 25th, 2021. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Welcome to Hump Day. Well, it is also going to be a dump day. I've got a bunch of info from the press conference with the county executive. We'll have that a little bit later, so let's get into it right now, shall we? On Monday, we told you about a hit-and-run crash in Linthicum Heights that sent a man who was driving a motorcycle to shock trauma. Unfortunately, he passed away yesterday, and the driver of the vehicle that struck him is still at large. If you'll remember, the driver of an SUV turned left in front of the motorcycle without yielding the right-of-way. The driver fled on foot, but left 3 passengers and some identifying information behind. Police are looking for a Ronald Scott Clark Jr. of Severna. And if anyone knows the whereabouts of Clark, please contact the Anne Arundel County Police at 410-222-8573. And in a follow-up to a story we brought you in November of 2019, police were called to a Pasadena address for what turned out to be a case of elder abuse, severe elder abuse. Elmer Norris was 91 years old, and when medics arrived, he was literally attached to his mattress with feces and needed to be cut out of the mattress for transport to the hospital. While in the hospital, staff did discover maggots and other insects on his body, and unfortunately, he died a little bit later that day. His son and caretaker, Danny Norris, was arrested and charged accordingly. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder on August 16th of this year and was sentenced yesterday to 25 years in prison, with all but 12 suspended. Additionally, he'll have 5 years of probation to serve upon his release. Man, what a horrible story. Okay, for that data dump I was talking about from the county executive, Anne Arundel County is now in the high-risk category for transmission of COVID. Hospital rates are up, and according to Dr. Colleen Araman, 55 people are currently being treated and are all either unvaccinated or have underlying conditions. Our case rate is now at 17 per 100,000 people, and in early July it was just below 1. During the height of the pandemic, you'll remember the health department said they would not recommend in-person attendance at schools if the rate was anything over 15. Speaking of schools, the board is to meet to decide the mask issue on September 1st, and County Executive Pittman said he is a fan of that and encourages the mandate to wear masks during schools. But this may all be a moot point, as we are hearing that the State Board of Education may make a move and make it mandatory statewide. For students that are quarantining, the school system has put in plans to make sure that they do not fall behind. It's a combination of faculty checking in with students as well as remote learning. We learned that from Bob Moser yesterday. When asked about a future mask mandate, County Executive Pittman sort of indicated that ship has sailed. Absent a state emergency from the governor, which is not very likely at all, he would need a supermajority of the council to do anything, which is 5 out of the 7. Pittman said 3 members, all Republicans, Jessica Hare, Nathan Volke, and Amanda Fiedler, have fought his mandates and actions from the beginning, so a supermajority is realistically unattainable. Based on that, Pittman encouraged everybody that's not vaccinated to do so now that the Pfizer vaccine is FDA approved, and he said he hopes that businesses will require vaccines for customers and employers will require it for employees. Whew. A lot of little stories wrapped up into a big one right there. Tomorrow, the Anne Arundel County Health Department will start their ORV Project. That is the Oral Rabies Vaccination Project. They will begin vaccinating raccoons against rabies, and they will be placing baits on the ground by teams in neighborhoods, and also they may be dropped by low-flying police helicopters in more rural areas. Now, some of them will look like a ketchup packet with a light brown waxy coating, and others are a small brown brick-looking thing about 1 1/4 inch square. They are not harmful to pets, but you don't want to let your pet chew on them if they find one, and if you handle one, wash your hands, you should be fine. However, if you are younger than 18, pregnant, have a compromised immune system, or have a chronic skin condition, you just want to leave them alone. This project will go on through the end of September. I hope you caught the bonus pod we dropped at noon with Carlo Biondi. He's the executive chef of the Ram's Head Group and is also headlining at Ram's Head on stage on August 30th with the Biondi Family Band. It was a fun one to record, and do go to the show if you can get a chance. It will be a fun one to see for sure. And as we wrap up, the Renn Fest opens up this weekend, and this year ticketing is going to be a little bit different. You must buy the tickets in advance and online at rennfest.com. As of now, they will be operating at 100% capacity, and vaccinated people are not required to wear masks, but the unvaccinated are, and you're on your own there. It's the honor system. Remember, the first 3 weekends are discounted, and crowds will tend to be smaller. The fest runs the weekends through October 24th and Labor Day Monday. Again, you want to go to rennfest.com. And finally, congrats to the 5 people who sang our praises yesterday and won prizes. We have contacted everybody for the winners of the Wilma Lee sale, as well as 4 gift cards to Chesapeake Real Ale Brewery and Mother's Peninsula Grill. Next week, I think we may go back to a concert ticket. You never know, so stay tuned. All right, that's it for the news. But first, a quick thank you to our 4 sponsors for today's Daily News Brief: Solar Energy Services, the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster Company, MacMedics, and Rehab to Perform, who I'm going to go check them out a little bit later on this morning. A quick reminder, please leave us a rating or a review if you have a chance. We'd really appreciate that. And now you just need to hang tight. I'm going to be back in a minute with the weather because George from DCMDV Weather is taking the week off. All of that and more in just about a minute.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services, with your Clean Energy Minute. Does your home experience power outages? Or maybe you're concerned about energy resilience in general? If so, that's another great reason to consider clean, quiet solar-powered energy with battery backup. You may have heard residential solar adoption has rapidly increased during the pandemic for multiple reasons, and many homeowners, like yourself, are adding battery backup and electric vehicle charging to their solar projects. And with Maryland's residential energy storage income tax credit, along with the federal tax credit for batteries when paired with solar, the economics are quite compelling, and that secure feeling is even better. So whether you're looking for clean energy, energy resilience, or overall peace of mind with solar energy, we can help. To schedule a free solar design, call us today at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net. But hurry, sunshine's a-wasting.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Are you an active adult or competitive athlete dealing with an injury keeping you from being at your best? Then Rehab to Perform is here to get you back to your full potential. R2P is a unique fitness-focused physical therapy company with 4 locations in Maryland. More like a training room and a personal training studio than a medical facility. R2P offers physical therapy for lower back pain, overuse injuries, post-surgery, muscle pulls, chronic pain, and more. R2P also offers rehabilitation for concussions and mild traumatic brain injuries. To learn more, visit rehabtoperform.com.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hello, this is not George. He's still on vacation, and honestly, I can't wait until he gets back. Hey, George, you listening here? All right, don't forget, get the DCMDVA Weather app wherever you get your apps and have it right on your phone or tablet, or you can go old school at DCMDVAweather.com and check out all he has on his site, anyhow, about the weather. All right, let's make this short and sweet. It's going to be gross through Friday. Temps all 3 days will start out in the mid-70s and head up to the low 90s with the feels-like temperature approaching 100, maybe even exceeding 100 degrees. A little less sunny on Thursday and Friday, but all in all, 3 pretty gross days. Saturday looks equally gross, but you add in a chance of rain a little bit later on in the day. Beyond that, at least right now, it seems that the temperatures will break a little bit, but it looks like a chance of rain throughout the weekend. But do remember, this is Maryland, so it can change in a heartbeat. So there you go. Only 2 more days of me, and George will be back. But in the meantime, get the real skinny at DCMDVAweather.com.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting MacMedics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. MacMedics is an Apple-authorized premium service provider. MacMedics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. MacMedics is also an Apple authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit MacMedics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call MacMedics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at MacMedics.com.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company.
I've always loved being a realtor because to me, it's more than a job. It's something that gives me an incredible sense of helping others. And this year in particular, when so many people we've helped had to move rather than wanted to move, it gave me an even greater sense of purpose. Whatever the reason for someone's move, from a career relocation to simply needing to downsize, it has truly been super rewarding and a privilege to be able to assist our clients through all the steps of their journeys. Though it hasn't always been easy, we've learned new ways of navigating the home buying and selling process. So whether you need to say goodbye to your current home or are looking for a new house to start the next chapter of your life in, the Kristi Neidhardt Team is here to work with you and for you, because truly we are all in this together.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-295-6579 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.